Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the episode of Star Wars Culture. I am Jordan.
And my name is Hannah. And today we have a bunch to talk about. We have some fantastic news coming out of this week. Dave Filoni joins the ranks of the executives in Lucasfilm and becomes executive creative director, which is exciting news, but we'll be talking about that real soon. Later on the show, we also have a wonderful interview with cosplayer Alex Cherry. We'll be talking all about the world of cosplaying and what's involved in that and her fantastic role she's done for the community with cosplaying as well, which is super, super interesting. What else do we have going on, Jordan?
Yes, so we also have my favorite segment. I'm a little biased. I probably shouldn't be biased because the whole show is ours, but
Yes,
we can
yes.
have our favorite segments.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about our favorite memes and meme review. We have like six today. We don't just have three. We have
Yeah,
like
no, we
six.
just piled them on. Yeah.
Twice the memes, double the fall is what I say. Um, yeah, and we'll also be talking about how Fennec Shand is showing off her skills in the latest episode of the Bad Batch Cornered. She is the queen. I love her.
Yes. Oh, it's so exciting to see more of her. So good.
Yes.
Behind the scenes, we have, as always, our producer Nikk TK7272. How you doing there, back there?
Doing good, and Nima Numa Tafa.
I'm going to Tafa back to you as well. Thank you so much for checking us out. If you want to know more pop culture news, articles, all that fun stuff, be sure to go check out Culture Slate on your favorite social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Culture Slate. And then you can find me at Instagram and Twitter at Raeside, and you can find Nikk at TK7272. Where can
Yes,
they
and you
find
can
you, Jordan?
find me everywhere. I have too many social medias, to
Everywhere,
be quite
everywhere.
honest with you. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, all at T Boo Poster 66. And
Yes.
yes, don't forget about
Patreon.
our
Oh yeah.
Patreon,
Yeah.
please. We
Oh,
have
we've
so
got
much
some good
exclusive
stuff.
content just for you to enjoy, as are for you to enjoy. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to be part of that anyway. Like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah. There's some juicy
Yeah,
goss back there. There's
yeah,
some
juicy
you have to
goss, bloopers, all that kind of crazy stuff. And you can find that at patreon.com/culture state, and it will be in the description below.
amazing. Now let's jump into the news this week. Jordan, we being such big Clone Wars fans, this was such amazing news. Surprising? No, but still big news. Still very big news.
Yes.
Because last week we discussed how Kevin Feige made some comments about he doesn't want to, be in charge of Lucasfilm, and we're kind of discussing the direction of the executives at Lucasfilm and Star Wars in general.
Mhm.
And then this comes out. So this week, we're like, mate, are we preempting the news? We were like already talking about this the week
Oh yeah,
before this happens.
love that for
Um,
us.
yeah. So Dave Filoni being promoted to executive creative director at Lucasfilm. Uh, Amazing news because let's just talk a little bit about Dave's creative ability. So
Oh,
obviously
you
Clone
mean
Wars
and the
fans.
flawlessness of it?
Exactly, exactly.
Yes.
Um, he was brought on early on in the Clone Wars process, and he became close under George Lucas's wing, and became his
Can we
Padawan
talk
of
about how
sorts.
he thought it was a joke? Like
Oh my God,
he was
yes.
working on my other favorite show that came out in like 2005 that I still watch to this day. And
Mm.
it's on Netflix, and I've watched it 57 times a month since it's been on Netflix. He worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender for Nickelodeon,
Mm.
and while he was working on that, Lucasfilm was like, "Hey, we want to talk to you about a show," and he like thought he was being punked, which I find amazing. And
Yeah, it's
he
yeah,
met
it's hilarious.
George after that, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Exactly, yeah. The rest it really is history because from that point, and I love that story so much because like yeah, if anyone got a call from Lucasfilm. Like, you think it's going to be a prank or a
No,
scam or
yeah, I would
something.
literally think it's a
Like,
prank too. I'm like,
and even if you're in the industry and you're well known, you're like, nah, this isn't real. This isn't real.
yeah,
And I think it really shows the fact that Dave is a fan, like foremost, like he's a fan of Star Wars, and
yeah.
I think that comes out in his work where it's not just a job and it's not just like a paycheck thing. It's a he loves that universe, which really shows. But yeah, if you got a call from Lucasfilm, what would you do?
I would brag about it. I'd brag about it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you. I'd be like, I worked hard to do this thing, and now this thing is happening. You all are gonna know. Like,
yeah, we'll
you're
know
all gonna know.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so obviously going through the Clone Wars series, and it getting cancelled and picked back up and cancelled and picked back up, like what three times, through its kind of life, and then obviously the success of it last year, um, season 7. Was that last year? Yeah, that was last year.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Last year.
Season 7 being incredible, an incredible work of art, an incredible body of work in all aspects. And then Mando. Let's talk a little bit about his hand in Mando and season 1 and 2, directing a couple of episodes and also executive producing. Oh, again, Nikk, can you fact check me on that if you can, or in the comments? Fact check me on that one.
PK7272. Fact check us right now.
But Jordan, what did you think of like his role in Mando? Did you think that was like, can you pick up on things in the storyline where you're like, oh, that's very Dave?
Yeah.
Executive producer of the show. Thank you, Nikk. Thank you.
I thought, okay, well, the Ahsoka episode, obviously, Ahsoka's like his literal child. Him and George Lucas, like he and Lucas created that character together. So I thought, that episode had Filoni written all over it. And even the episodes where he shows up as an X-wing pilot, which I thought was pretty great. And I need more. I need more Filoni pilot in my life.
Yeah, right.
I'm just gonna say it right
yeah,
now.
that was an excellent cameo. I'm so happy they did that. My goodness. And I love that the behind the scenes, the Mandalorian, the making of the Mandalorian series that came out on Disney Plus and how they made the first episode. The first season. Talking about Dave's little cameo in it and how much he didn't want to do it, and like Jon Favreau made him do it. That was so satisfying to know. I was like, oh, good, that's so good. But yes, yeah. So Dave's hand in the actual production and direction of the show. I definitely, yeah, like what you said. Obviously, the Ahsoka part was very. You could feel how much he was in that and how much care was taken into that episode, which was really nice to feel as fans. But I think as a show overall, it has that fun, and it has that kind of playful, joyful kind of way it rolls. Like, as much as it's a fantastically adventure driven series, it has that kind of almost comedic fun about it, which very much was like the tone of Clone Wars, I felt. And of course, Jon Favreau, credit to him, amazing director as well, and they executive produced it. But I feel like Dave's like a really fun guy, even though he's very kind of softly spoken, a bit like George Lucas, very softly spoken, but he's kind of like, on the inside.
I was watching the Disney Gallery making of Mandalorian, and the way him and John just have fun with everyone on set. It's just great. They're always laughing, and Dave and John couldn't take each other seriously at some points, even when they were whispering. They were trying not to laugh so loud because they were trying to film something. It was great. It's a good time,
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's like a testament to how positive that set would have
for
been.
sure.
And because we spoke to a certain member of that cast, we had
Patreon.com. Y'all go check it out.
Oh, check it
Emily
out. We
Swallow.
It was a good time, and that was actually one of our questions. But you should check out the full thing. But one of the questions,
we're not going to tell you what she said, or at least I'm not. Hannah can do it. I'm not telling you what she said.
I'll just allude to it. She spoke a little bit to how amazing it was to be on set, and everyone was just having a good time, and it was just such a fun atmosphere. And I think Dave is very much that fun little kid.
I'm gonna get on my soapbox and I'm gonna get off real quick.
Yes.
No, Dave Filoni did not replace Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh yes, here we go. Yeah, hit me.
Kathleen Kennedy does not need to be replaced. just because you didn't like a movie. Okay, can we get that straight right
Oh, I
now?
love it so
Are
much.
are are we
Yes.
are we can we agree on that, Star Wars fans? Can we, you know, I'm looking at y'all. I'm looking at y'all. Just because you didn't like a movie doesn't mean she's not doing her job. And that's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna let y'all off
Is
easy
it?
this week. I'm gonna let y'all off easy
I
this
love
week.
it though. I love it. So
But
because
just
we
because,
we spoke last week about how Dave and John are in the places that they should be, and then it
yeah.
came out that Dave's been in this role of executive creative director. Do you feel like now this is the best place that Dave should be, creative director?
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's pretty cool. Like I feel like Star Wars is definitely going in a positive direction. Um, it just doesn't make me feel any better or worse towards anyone else who was previously in charge. Like some people seem
Exactly.
to think, which is
Yes.
why I said what I said, because a lot of people are sharing these memes in Star Wars Facebook groups, kind of like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy is gone now, finally. And then it's like the Return of the Jedi celebration scene and stuff like that. And it's just like that. First of all, that's not what happened.
Mm,
So that's not what happened. She's still there. She's still doing what she's supposed to be doing. She's just getting a lot of help from someone who's been a part of the galaxy forever and who
mm.
she trusts, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's just like how we mentioned last week how she was involved in the process of Mando as well, and she was very involved with that, and that's a very successful show. And there's so much that she's actually given the fans that I think we can't identify enough. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, have your picks of what movies you don't like, but she's actually done so much amazing work as well for the Lucasfilm industry. And I agree with you. I think Dave is in the position that he should be in because
Yeah.
he's not um, he's only just gotten into the live action kind of sort of side of producing and directing, and that was with Mando. That was his first time,
Oh
in
yeah.
live action.
Mhm.
So it's like I think creative direction is definitely his strong, his strongest skill, and leave the business and the that kind of the heavy side to like a Kathleen Kennedy, which yeah, I completely agree with you. I absolutely think she's done the best job she can with
Mhm.
the the state of Star Wars fans and the
Yeah.
how intense we can be. So
Yes.
no, I totally agree with you.
I just don't like the whole I'm gonna blame Kathleen for the things I don't like, but only give credit to John and
Yeah.
Dave and people like that for the things I do like. When she had the same job for those movies that she did for the stuff you like, so it's like, that's my only thing. I feel so bad for Kathleen.
Yeah, exactly.
I
And
personally think she's doing a decent job and doesn't need to get replaced by
in
anybody.
the comments we in on YouTube we have D Shine 12. I also agree. I hopped back on the Star Wars train and had trouble understanding why people were hating on Kathleen so much. I got so confused. Absolutely. Yeah, it was very confusing. It's like, hang on, we've got this like amazing Star Wars content just pumping out underneath
Yeah,
Kathleen's tutelage,
under
and
her
we
rule.
all just hate it. It was like,
Under her
why?
rule. That's what I like
Mm,
to say. Under
yeah,
Kathleen's rule, because it makes them even
rule,
angrier.
rule. I like that. That's I let's use rule. I love it. Um, keep those comments coming. It's yeah, really, really interesting to talk
Yeah.
about. Um, now, yeah, keep the comments coming, but we're going to be talking about another piece of news that has been kind of circulating the galaxy, which we've got some very interesting images of and kind of confirmation of. We've got a little bit of information on the new Book of Boba Fett show coming to our screens December. That's sooner than we think. What are we in the fifth
Hmm.
month? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Sure.
We're only 7 months away from this brand new show of Boba, so it's incredible.
Which is funny
Um,
because that's when I am trying to like plan to go to Galaxy's Edge. So I'm gonna
there you
get just a
go. That's
bunch
the
of
time to
Star
do it.
Wars thrown in my face in
Yes,
December. It's gonna be great.
yes, good times. And there's something, the movies all coming out in December as well with sequel trilogy. It's like December's kind of the Star Wars time. Like you feel
Yeah.
good about
It
Star
used
Wars
to be
again.
May. Before Disney, when the
Yeah,
sequels and
yeah.
the originals were coming out, it was May. And so
Mm,
now we've kind of moved to like a winter season, which I thought was pretty cool.
yeah. It's No, yeah, it's definitely a good time. I do enjoy that kind of end of year, looking forward to something Star Warsy happening. Um, but yes, we have uh the show Codename, which was kind of accidentally kind of trickled out into the world. The code name is for the show Buccaneer, which might I say is just a really good word. That's a really fun word. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate that more into the conversation, but I want to. Buccaneer. And that came out because we have some images. I'm sure Nikk can flick them up on the screen for us. Um, of I'm going to butcher his pronunciation of his name. Tame Morrison. I'll do that.
Tamir Morrison.
There we go. There we go. You need
I
the accent to
think.
kind of really nailed it. He's wearing a jumper, like a some sort of a coat thing, like a sweatshirt. I believe that's what you would call it, Jordan, right? A sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Of it, and it says Buccaneer on the logo, and there's also some stickers and some, I don't know where that actually came from. It was on Twitter somewhere. BobaFettClub.com. There we go. Okay. Some stickers of the name Buccaneer as well, which is very interesting. So obviously, do you think the filming and production and the filming of it has been finished yet, Jordan?
I think we're getting there. Definitely
Getting
think we're
there.
getting there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you never know because you also have like reshoots that may have to happen. So if anything, they're
That's true.
working on that. I
That is
don't
very true.
know. I don't. Did they? I don't know how many episodes it's gonna be, or anything like that. So that
Yeah, I don't
also
think. Yeah.
determines whether or not they're done or not. So
I did. I did see around somewhere. It would have been on Reddit somewhere. That there is going to be multiple seasons of the series as well. But where did I find that? I do not know. Maybe I just thought that. Maybe I just am assuming this now. But at least we know it's definitely in that process, and it's in that kind of churning out the show,
yeah.
which is very exciting. But before we move on, what do we expect from the show? Like, do you have any just random what you want from the show?
I think he's gonna take on the Hut clan. I mean Jabba's dead and I forgot his name. What is his name? His servant person or whatever.
Oh,
What is his
old
name?
mate, Wanawanga guy.
Well,
Wanawanga.
yeah, him. He is
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the Huts are gonna be like, yo, you need to calm down.
Just like that.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, hey man, I kind of need you to stop. And if you're not gonna stop, we're gonna come after you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
definitely think it's gonna
absolutely.
be a lot of bounty hunter versus bounty hunter action. And because we'll have that second live action show, I maybe think that Mando and Boba Fett will like cross over.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yep.
maybe
Have a nice little
get
crossover. Yeah.
Pedro to you know
Kind of pop in. Maybe you
yeah
just kind of popping in to check up on him, be like, hey, how you doing, Boba? Okay, that's cool.
yeah. Can you like come help us take Mandalore, please? Your dad grew up here. Can you like come
Oh, I
on,
want that
please and
crossover
thank
so
you?
bad.
Yeah,
So good. Alrighty, well, I think that's it for the news this week. The lovely podcast we got, hot off the press, fantastic. And now we're gonna have a fantastic interview with the wonderful Alex Cherry.
we have decided to stay.
And now we're going to interview the wonderful Alex Cherry. She is a cosplayer and all-round Star Wars lover. She's our guest for this week. So excited to talk.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Now, I have the first very important question.
Oh.
Yeah, let's get to it.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm having a great day. I'm wearing my Ahsoka sweater that I love.
Yes.
And
it's
feeling
stunning. Yes.
very Star Warsy. So always a great day.
How's the weather in Naboo?
Oh, the weather is beautiful. Just sunny.
It's clear.
warm.
Yeah, clear day. Amazing.
Yeah.
Must be nice. No. Okay. So here's the first question for real. When and why did you get into cosplaying?
So, I mean, I've always been a big nerd, super
Same.
into
So yeah,
Marvel.
so have we all.
Yeah, Marvel, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and randomly, I grew up in Tennessee, so I'm from the Southeast in America,
Me too.
and
I grew up in
I
Texas, not Tennessee, but the South, all the
ooh,
same.
yes, T name state, love it. And my mom randomly heard about Dragon Con, which is this convention in Atlanta, and I'd never been to a convention, but she was like, we should go to this. It seems fun. It seems like it's what you're into, and there are a lot of nerdy people there and comic books and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, yes, let's go. And I was like 15 at the time, and I started like Googling, like, what do you do at a convention? What do you wear to conventions? And it was like everyone cosplays. And so I started looking up what cosplay was, and figured out that it's, dressing up like characters from movies or shows or comics. And so that year, my first time going to Dragon Con, I put together a Star Trek dress and went as a Star Trek character. And that was my first kind of foray into cosplay. And I just like fell in love with it. So
very nice.
Incredible. Yeah, that's amazing. First ever convention. Yeah, that's incredible. So talk us through your first then Star Wars cosplay. So do you remember what was your very first Star Wars cosplay you did?
My first one, I actually did like a femme version of Kylo Ren. So I made
I like it.
I had like the black robes, and I had his lightsaber, the Disney Star Wars Force Effects Kylo Ren lightsaber, and I had the mask, which was fun because it's kind of fun to have a mask at a convention and be kind of anonymous,
Yeah, mysterious. Who is it? I don't know.
Yeah, and
it's incredible.
It's definitely not a 17-year-old girl dressed up as Kylo Ren, which is exactly what it was. But I just remember my favorite thing that happened is I went to Dragon Con as Kylo Ren, and there was one of those like full-size R2-D2 robots that someone was like wheeling around, controlling. Yeah, and R2-D2 like came up to me, and the fan in me was like, oh, it's R2-D2, but I was dressed as Kylo Ren, and so the robot like screamed at me and like backed away, and it was so
funny. So good. That's such a good reaction though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so wholesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
Are you going to the Dragon Con that's happening like soon? I don't know when. That's why I say soon, because I completely blanked on when it was.
Yes, so it's my favorite convention. It happens in Atlanta every year on Labor Day weekend, which is the beginning of September. So I'll be there this year, definitely.
Oh, I'm actually trying to get there myself, so maybe I'll see you.
Yeah, we should go.
Alex, go there.
Hannah, get down here so you can come.
Yeah, exactly. I got to swim over there. I'll swim over there and come too.
So what would be what would be your advice to like other fans trying to get into cosplaying?
I would say cosplaying can be really intimidating because you see all these amazing cosplayers who like build armor or like build props and do all this crazy stuff, but really anyone can cosplay. It's just about like identifying with a character that you love and getting to dress up like that character. And I would say, starting out especially, you shouldn't worry about looking 100% just like the character. Every detail doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to make all your pieces. Every kind of cosplay is valid. If you buy your costume, if you make it, no matter what you do. And so for me, the most fun part of it is like just loving the character, getting to embody that character and like sharing that with other fans. So I think it's just, you got to remember whatever your version is of that character, it's the right version, because that's what cosplay is all about. So
yes, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, that's the big thing about cosplaying, is that it's bringing fans together. We're all connecting over something, and it doesn't matter what version it is. It is valid. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's really nice. Really heartwarming there. Now we have seen on social media that you do a fantastic Rey. You do a very good Rey cosplay. What was the first time you cosplayed Rey, and where was that? And how did it feel to become Rey?
One of my favorite things is wearing cosplays to movie premieres, like opening nights. And so the first time I cosplayed Rey was to The Last Jedi opening night in Alabama, where I went to college. And so not nobody else dressed up or anything, but I came in my full Rey cosplay with my lightsaber, and
That's amazing.
all these little girls like saw me and they were like, "That's Rey!" and they were like so excited, and that
Oh,
it was just great. So I wore it to the movie. Luckily, Rey is a very comfortable cosplay to sit through a movie in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was absolutely a blast.
Yeah, that's incredible. There's nothing like dressing up for a movie premiere. That is such a good feeling, and especially when there's other people there dressing up too, and when to have kids coming up and recognizing you and going, oh my God, it's Ray. That's so cool. What a feeling.
Yeah.
Now, actually, on that, Jordan, we found something in Alex's Instagram bio that we found very interesting. What did we find?
I did. I have to go look because I don't remember what it was.
So, okay, well, I'll remind you.
Yeah.
So in your Insta bio, it says you are a Last Jedi defender. I feel like that's
yes.
Yes.
My favorite.
Yes.
How did I forget that?
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah.
Yes.
So
such a clown over here.
We're big all round Star Wars fans of all movies. But you are very adamant that you're a Last Jedi defender. Can you talk us through that? Why did that get a mark in your bio?
Well, if you remember when Last Jedi came out, there were some fans who were not a big fan of the movie, and they didn't like it.
Do I remember?
Do I remember? There was a petition to get the movie struck from canon or remade. People were very angry and outspoken about this movie. And personally, I'm not afraid to say it is my favorite Star Wars movie. I love it so much. And while I think that all opinions are valid, and of course you cannot like the movie, I defend this movie from being viewed as a bad movie or a piece of trash, as some people have called it, because even though it's different from a lot of the Star Wars movies that come before it, that was one of my favorite parts of it, was how it kind of took the time to do something new and, take chances. And even if every element of the movie isn't perfect, I love the movie as a whole. So I always say I'm a Star Wars Last Jedi defender because I will argue for that movie's validity.
Oh, I love that so much.
I just think it's funny because a lot of those people defend the prequels like they didn't trash on them when they first came out. It's just all very funny to see unfold.
Exactly.
But that's good. Spreading some positivity about the movie. That's what it's needed. And then definitely I found that movie got a lot of the brunt of all the negativity and just got as you said, like hammered and trashed, and everyone's like, take it off the canon. And so that's good. Spreading positivity. That's what we like to hear. Love it.
Exactly.
Me and Jordan both read that in your bio and we went, oh my gosh, she loves it too. Yes, let's talk about that. That's amazing. Oh, so good. Now, we also hear that you have done some cosplaying work for some charity work. Is that true? Yeah. So talk us a little bit about that. How did you get into doing charity work?
So my friend Lauren Scott, who you guys probably know.
I know her.
Name sounds familiar.
She is also a cosplayer, and she was involved in these groups. And I met her a couple of years ago and we became fast friends, just bonding over all things Star Wars and Marvel and everything. And she knew that I cosplayed, and so she kind of roped me in and introduced me. And one of the groups I've been working with recently is called Kids Can Cosplay, and we do charity events where we dress up in cosplay and we go. We've handed out like supplies. We did like a drive-through with Miracle Babies where we handed out diapers to families that needed them, and the kids came with the families and we talk to them in cosplay. And we have a library event coming up where we go to the kids and at the library and we pretend to be the characters. And I'm getting an Ahsoka cosplay ready for that, so very excited. So it's just a really fun way to talk to kids and embody your character and share the love of cosplay while also doing something really positive, and that's what I love about it. So
that's incredible.
Love to see it.
And there's something so powerful about it because kids have that real kind of imagination and fantasy look. So them seeing like a real life version of their favorite character is so magical for them. So it's such an experience for them. So that's wonderful. So what's your the company or community that it's called again? So just plug its website or socials so people can find that.
Yeah, it's called Kids Can Cosplay, and that's what their handle is on Instagram, just Kids Can Cosplay. Same thing on Facebook. And they do a lot of events in the Southern California area. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, wonderful. So good. Now, we have a fresh new series on our hands happening at the moment. We have the wonderful Bad Batch series that me and Jordan have been loving and talking so much about constantly. That is just such a big fresh of breath. Breath of fresh air. There we go.
Yes.
Whoa, I really struggled with that one. It's been fantastic to have this new series. And we want to know your thoughts. We want to know the gossip that you've got for us. So tell us, what was your very first reactions watching the very first episode of Bad Batch, the premiere, 70 minutes long? It was an incredible episode. What did you first think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Clone Wars series. That's like one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars media. It was like my comfort show during the pandemic and during quarantine. I just watched it over and over again. And so I was really excited to kind of return to that world, but also have it be something new. And so I think the coolest part about watching Bad Batch, even just in those first 10 minutes, is that it felt familiar and it felt comforting.
Yeah. Yes.
Like it felt like I was watching Clone Wars again, but it was a new story and it was exciting enough that it felt like something new to explore. And so I love that first episode because I think the group dynamic is really great. You've got these different characters that all have their strengths and weaknesses. I love Tech. He's like very like logical and the brain of the group, and I love just seeing the way those characters interact. And I think Omega is one of my favorites because as soon as she was introduced, I knew they were doing that classic like burly tough character, and then like the softer imaginative younger character. It's very like Mandalorian with the Mandalorian and Grogu. So that's one of my favorite character dynamics, and I think that's when Star Wars is at its strongest, when it has those really strong characters, and Bad Batch definitely has that going for it. So
yes. As we see the story kind of unfold, because it's only been a few episodes, what do you hope to see as we are going along in the series?
I think I really hope to see just more and more detail on kind of how the galaxy transitioned into this period of the Empire, being in power. We've already like in Bad Batch a little bit, we've seen like Saw Gerrera, and we've got hints that we're going to see more of like his work with the Resistance. And I just think it's a really fascinating time in Star Wars history to kind of see what happens, between episode 3 and episode 4, as you're getting into that rule of the Empire. So I love all the the politics and the intrigue, and that's a really exciting part to kind of open up the universe more. So
yeah, definitely. And it's because even though we've gotten Rebels, the series, and we've gotten Rogue One, there's still so much time and space that we have so many questions about, and we keep seeing things that we want to know more about. And definitely that's been one of our biggest things too, is seeing that transition especially from like clone to stormtrooper, and understanding how that worked. It's a very trying time in the galaxy, if you will.
Exactly.
Talking about what we hope to see, who do you hope to see in the series? It doesn't even have to be that logical, but what character would you just love to see come up in the Bad Batch series for an episode or for the whole thing?
I think it would be cool to see more Rogue One characters, since we know we're getting the Andor series.
Yeah,
since we're getting Andor on Disney Plus, I think maybe if it's even just a short little cameo, we see like Jen or Cassian or one of those characters. I love Rogue One, and
give me the Bad Batch meeting Galen Erso while he's trying to build the Death Star.
Yes,
actually, that's actually
into my veins.
That's a fantastic idea.
That's actually not that ridiculous too. Like that could genuinely happen in the storyline, and it would fit.
Like I could see it kind of happening as like a season 2 type thing, where they're like, okay, we're watching the galaxy transition into the Empire in season 1, and then it's like, oh, this super weapon and it's super secret, and we accidentally discovered
like,
it.
what?
Oops.
Exactly. That'd be awesome.
Yes. So some Rogue One characters. I could definitely see that happening. Love it. And what do you think about, seeing as you're wearing her jumper, do you think we could possibly get an Ahsoka cameo in this series?
I think we definitely could. We do see her a lot in Rebels, but we don't really know the direct aftermath of kind of the Clone Wars series and what happens to her. So I'm always down for an Ahsoka cameo. I think she kind of like floats everywhere and fits in a lot of different spaces because she is very independent and on her own and traveling around. So it would be very logical for them to bump into her, and her relationship with clones in general is so wonderful. The final season of Clone Wars was so emotional, and her bond with those characters. So exactly.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And like what you said, she does have those bond with those clones, so it would make a lot of sense if she has this kind of running with them and discussion about the galaxy with them. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Now, how do you think that this series will affect the Star Wars fandom? Do you think it'll point us all in the right direction as far as loving each other again, not being as divided like the sequels did? whatever it is people say.
Yeah, I I hope that it brings people together more, and I think there's a lot of excitement surrounding these Disney Plus shows, and because the shows aren't as big as like a movie coming out, and you can kind of like pick and choose what you watch with the shows, and everything's its own kind of like, they feel kind of like side quests. I think they're safer from a huge amount of scrutiny, because it's like you don't have to watch The Bad Batch to understand all of Star Wars, and that's kind of what I love about it, because like those of us who want to love it, great, we can watch it. Those who don't, get lost. You don't have to see it.
That's a really good point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love these more like intimate, like side stories, because they really allow the true not the true fans, that's very gatekeepy, but the fans who want to,
the fans who don't complain.
The fans who don't complain, yes. The fans who want to see everything can see everything, but then those people who are bound to have problems can just not watch it, and they'll be okay.
And remember, kids, think Kathleen Kennedy, don't just act like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing everything by themselves. That's what we're not gonna do.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm done for now.
Oh, too
I
funny.
sense a rant coming.
Yeah, I was like, who triggered? He's triggered.
You have no idea.
Oh, too good. Well, Alex, thank you so much for this enlightening chat, and thank you for sharing about your cosplaying experiences. And if people want to see your stuff on social media, where could they find you?
Of course. I post most of my stuff on Instagram. So on Instagram, I'm a cherry, like the fruit, and then 97. So a cherry 97. I post a lot of my cosplay stuff. Yeah. And you can find me on there. And I always love talking to people about cosplay and getting people involved. I love it when my friends are like getting ready for Halloween and they're like, where do I get a wig for this, or where do I get this? And I'm like, I can hook you up.
So
Here.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so if you have questions, go DM her on Instagram. She'll figure you out for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, well, it's wonderful to talk to you. Thank you so much. And again, if you want to check out the charity work, I've already forgotten it. Kids
can cosplay.
Kids can cosplay. There we go.
Yes.
Kids can cosplay. That's awesome. Such a fantastic thing to share some joy and some happiness into our world. And thank you. Yeah, your Bad Batch thoughts, very interesting. But we'll see how this series pans out. Thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was great talking to you guys.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Alrighty, what a wonderful time. That was Alex Cherry, and she was such a delight to talk to. And again, her Ahsoka jumper, incredible, so good, so cool. I really want one.
I want it too. I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah, we should get matching ones. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, Now we are into what we mentioned before. This could possibly be our favorite segment of the show. What do we have going on now, Jordan?
We have our
I just
meme
want you to say it.
segment. This
Yeah.
is okay. Listen, before anybody gets upset, this is the best name ever. Okay, this we have called this segment this week "Finding the Best meme Guz in the Galaxy."
Oh, so good. Hey, sit
Love it.
down. That Nikk came up with that one, actually. We have to give
Yeah,
him
he
credit there
did.
because that was the best name in the world. We found the best Ameemgas of the galaxy. Um, let's jump right into it. Let's go through the very first meme. So, Nikk, the
Yes,
first meme for everyone is, of course, Bad Batch and Fennec Shand related.
my
Just
queen.
look at it there. It's that fantastic meme of I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's usually in that spot, where
Oh
Fennec
yeah,
Shand
she's
realizing
like,
it's herself.
it's me. Yeah.
It's like they did pretty good with the whoa! I really struggled on that word animation. There we
Oh
go.
yeah, for sure.
They
It also
did
helps
really
that
well
it's
with it.
voiced by the
Mm.
same person, so
Yeah.
that's great as
Yeah, they did
well.
a great job, but it's
Yeah.
being Ming-Na Wen sitting there going, "Oh, that's me." Imagine being
Yeah.
animated that and seeing yourself in a show. That's just radical.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
for
our first
sure.
meme of the week. Very good. Second meme of the week. Jordan, do you want to read that one out? I can't. My eyeballs. I don't
So
zoom
I'm
that fast.
actually trying to zoom in. Can't do it. Don't know what's wrong with the file. But it says the same actor talking to himself for 2 hours. And it's Star Wars. And it's Bad Batch because D. Bradley Baker
Oh,
plays all six of
right,
them, plus Rex and Cut and all those kind of
right.
people. So
It's just incredible.
love it.
It's his show. He just owns it.
Yes.
But it's so accurate though.
It's
Um,
just interesting because I want to know what he felt like going from being with a cast of people, but still kind of talking to himself, to like 90% talking to himself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how he does it too. Like I wonder if he does one full day of Rekka and then a full day of cut, or he does it like one
Yeah.
after another, just in the room
Yeah,
conversation with yourself.
it's pretty great.
Oh,
Pretty
so
cool. Pretty
good.
great. Pretty
Love
great.
it. Good meme, wholesome meme. The
This
third
is my
meme for
favorite.
this week is Omega finding that weird dog looking thing in the recent episode. And she went, "Hello there." That's my best Omega.
Okay. Hey, whoa, wait a minute. I just realized something looking at this meme.
Yeah.
This is a callback to Resistance because that's when you first see that dog thing is in Star Wars Resistance. To show
Oh.
everybody
Oh,
craps
look
on
at
for no
these
reason.
memes. Look at these deep cut memes.
I love
Wow.
Star Wars
Wow, good
Resistance,
pickup. That
and
is
I
a
don't
really good
care what
pickup.
anyone says about it.
Yeah, wow. Okay, there you go. Well, then, and then imagine if the dog thing from Resistance
Yeah,
said General Kenobi. Like, no, I did that in Kenobi voice. It would be General Kenobi. That's my best General Grievous. Wow. Um, and yeah, imagine if it said it back. They should have weaved that in.
yeah.
Come on,
So I
we're
have a
right there.
follow up question for you.
Yes.
What
Ooh.
is your what is your favorite response to "Hello there"?
General Kenobi? Is this a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question, but it is a trick question because it's not a trick question. Let me tell you why.
Oh, I'm ready.
Because there's multiple replies to "Hello there" within the Star Wars universe. The default reply is
Oh.
always General Kenobi, right? But then if you look back at A New Hope, just celebrates 44th birthday. Love that for him.
Love that.
For them, it's one movie, not one person. Ben says, "Come here, little friend. Don't be afraid," or something like that. There's that response.
Yes.
And
Okay.
then there's the
Little
one where
friend.
yeah.
Oh.
And then there's the one in the Clone Wars where General Grievous says "Hello there," and then immediately follows with, "Did you really think I would leave the hyperdrive unguarded?" That's my favorite one because it
Yeah.
comes out of nowhere. It doesn't make
Right?
sense in any conversation, but say it anyway.
You did that really like too well. You did that like way too well.
I'd maybe
Did
have
you
watched that
really think I would
episode
leave the hyperdrive
17 too.
unguarded?
Yes. I may
Oh,
have studied Grievous's voice for a
deep
couple
cut
years,
meme.
so
Yes, you did. Damn right you did.
may or may not have.
Um, meme four. Meme
Oh god,
four.
this meme is hilarious.
I know, right?
It's Palpatine, execute Order 66. And then you have Cody. So anyway, I started blasting. And then, there's Rex with his gun and he's tearing
He's
up.
like crying.
Yeah. And then there's the Bad Batch from that one scene of Parks and Rec. And he's like, I don't know what that means. And at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Which is like
Perfect example, like explanation
accurate.
of their tone. They're
So
like,
accurate.
I know what it means, but I'm too afraid to
Yeah, I was
ask.
like,
So they just steal a child and leave Kamino. Like, that was
yeah,
their
and they're
response
like,
to that.
all right.
Oh, it's so good. It shows the different ways everyone reacted. Freaking amazing.
Yeah.
This next one is so funny, and we won't get into it, but one of my least favorite characters, oddly, is Kiyomundi. And
We're
George,
gonna have
this.
we're gonna have we're gonna I'm tired of the
Oh,
County
can't
Mundi
stand the guy.
disrespect on my own
Can't
team,
stand him.
but it's fine.
But this is hilarious photo of, I don't even know who this is or where this came from. Nikk just like sourced this for us.
Yeah.
And your thoughts dwell on your mother. It's just like it's too much. That quote from Attack of the Clones. Oh, no, not Attack of the Clones. Phantom Menace is just hilarious. Your thoughts dwell on your mother. Oh, so
Now,
wholesome.
this next meme,
Yes, meme 6.
it is not very funny.
No,
But that's because it's not a bad. It's not because it's a bad meme, because it's not a bad meme. I just, I saw this and I was like, I wanted to attack you guys in the emotions for a couple seconds.
Fun. What fun.
It's the end of the Clone Wars, season 7. And Ahsoka's like, tell Anakin. And Obi-Wan said, I will. And then what did he tell him at the end of Revenge of the Sith?
Oh my god.
And I'm just going to leave it there. I won't say anything else. I'm just going to let you guys look at the meme. I had to.
No, I'm going to tear up, damn it.
I had to.
Oh, it's so painful though, and I think that's like one of the heart-wrenching things about season 7 is like it just made like Revenge of the Sith all that more like hearty and sad and depressing.
For sure.
Oh, and it's so upsetting because definitely you can hear the echoes of Ahsoka's plight to Anakin behind Obi's words there. Whew, right in the feels.
I hate it here.
You're ending it on the Omegas on the sad one.
Yes, you're welcome, Star Wars fans.
Oh, good Omegas this week. And if you have any memes for us, be sure to hit us up on our Instagram page at Our Star Wars Culture. Send them through there, DM us, or on our Facebook page. Your memes, and maybe they could feature in our Omega of the week. Amazing. Now, speaking of Omegas and Omegas, let's talk about Bad Batch. Bit of Bad Batch. Yeah, so we got a incredible, my favorite so far episode, Cornered, that came out last Friday for me. It's Thursday night for you guys, I think.
Yeah, late Thursday night, like at 2 a.m. or something like that.
So
but it technically like every Friday type of thing.
Yeah, kind of thing. And which was great. I loved the episode. I've already watched it 4 times. Not ashamed of that number. It was amazing. We got so much information and like depth of the storyline in this episode. So like we're kind of run through it, like what happened in the episode, and we'll just have a discussion. I want to know your thoughts too, Jordan. We visited a planet, to my knowledge at least. I know I haven't read everything of Star Wars. I've seen most things, and I have not seen Pantora before.
I mean, yeah, we visited like moons and stuff and blockades outside the planet, but we've never actually been on the planet.
Yes.
And I thought that was pretty great.
I was waiting for Papanoida to pop out at some point. I was looking forward to that, but we didn't get it.
I was waiting for Senator Chuchi to come out and be like, "Has anyone seen Ahsoka?" Like, she's as far as you're concerned, she's
so good.
That
was a really good Chuchi. Wow. The Pandora, love it. Would have loved to see some more cameos, but that's okay. I was happy seeing the planet. What I don't understand is they, at the very start of the episode, they were like, "Oh, it's uninhabited," and then they go there and it's like very inhabited.
It's like there's like 800 people there. Yeah.
It's just so random. It's so random. And then, we land on the planet. We're doing a supply run. Felt very Rebels at that point. It was like, oh, are we going to do a bit of a, go find the fruit in the market kind of storyline? But then
Yeah.
it got interesting. It got
And
interesting.
then
And
Queen Finnick shows up,
yeah, Queen Finnick. Um,
and everyone's like, she's a villain.
everyone just panics.
Bounty hunters are not villains. They're just trying to make them win the galaxy. They're just kind of morally corrupt. That doesn't make them villains.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So,
Can we talk about
also,
how
we'll come back to
Echo
it in a
his
second.
Echo
But
suit?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's a droid now. Well, he looks like a droid. He dresses as a droid.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good looking droid.
Yeah. But Hannah, someone
Yes.
wants to know in the comments, back to what we were
Oh.
talking about earlier in the memes.
Yes.
Just real quick, and then we'll go back to the memes. But, or back to Bad Batch. But all this stuff about you not liking Kiadi, it's not boding well.
Where? Oh, really? I mean, he's an older religious member of the Pinheads. Oh, that's incredible.
Love
I
it.
mean, I don't hate the guy. He's just, I don't know. Maybe he needs to have a sabbatical.
It's just
or something.
not
He's
your
a bit
favorite,
stressed.
and I get
He's
it.
just, he goes to Geonosia and Geonosis. Thank you. Wow.
Geonosis,
Struggled
yes.
there. Geonosia. I don't know what that means.
Geonosia, I don't know where that is.
Yeah. Okay.
Not sure what
cool.
system that
Fake
is.
fan.
But,
He does some flamethrowing. I don't know. That guy needs a break or something.
yeah.
Oh, he's stressed. He's just overly stressed, in my opinion.
But yes, back to Bad
Yes,
Batch. Whenever Star Wars characters, thanks to season 7 and Rebels, every time Star Wars characters go into maintenance tunnels, I get triggered.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
because
love
I think
that.
bad things are gonna happen because they normally do.
Yes, and it's like that was such a common theme in Rebels. Like if they were in trouble, they're like, let's just go in the maintenance tunnel. It's like that was like their only escape method in like every episode. So I was like, when Omega started going down, I was like, oh, this is like a great little. Like I don't think it was like a direct kind of conscious connection, but I thought it was a nice little similarity there. I enjoyed that. We also got a really cool dynamic of kind of how the Bad Batch worked together, not only just in combat, although they were like kind of combating Fennec Shand, but kind of how they worked together, how they had one goal. Omega's lost. Let's find her. Tech was like, okay, I'll drop on the security cams, and he's doing his little thing, checking all the computers. And then Echo's like, what did Echo do? Oh, he went and fixed the ship so they could leave. And then Hunter's on the way. And then Wrecker's like trying to find it. Like it was a fantastic dynamic I felt between all of them. That was really fun. And yeah. And it kind of I felt like it showed that they all are really caring about Omega now, and like it's not just an annoying nuisance now. It's like they all want to find her and want to help.
Yeah, definitely.
Satisfying.
I'm just ready to find out who the hell Fennec was talking to in the comic.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that about?
It was probably an Imperial hired her to find Omega, or it was Lama Su. You know.
Ooh, that's a good point. Because I had the assumption of it would have been maybe a Tarkin because he really wants to find them, but
it was Palpatine.
But a Lama Su, or Mohawk guy. Mohawk guy.
Maybe.
Tyler from Shadow Squadron coined that one for me because he does. And ever since he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that the Prime Minister has a fantastic mohawk. Yeah, that's so true.
He does.
Yeah. Who's Fennec? Who did Fennec get commissioned from?
What if it was Boba Fett? What if the Imperials hired Boba Fett?
They don't know him yet, do they?
They don't. We don't know that they don't know each other yet.
That's fair. Maybe they just kind of are acquainted in Bad Batch, but then in Mando, that's when they're like, "Oh, I'll help you now because you got shot in the stomach."
I recognize you. Yeah, you're dead. Oops.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't know each other.
And it could be one of those things where like the Imperials hired him to track her down, and then he's like, "I'm gonna like have you do it, or at least help me,"
Yeah. Kind of like a acquainted kind of colleagues, if you will. in the comments in YouTube, we've got Wrecker being the tough big brother from D Shine 12. Yeah, yes, that was really
I
wholesome.
love
Wrecker
Wrecker
just
with my
in the
entire
way.
heart.
Oh, and he just like picks her up and he's like, "Come on, let's get you back," and then he gets knocked out in like 2 seconds. But
Yeah.
it was a nice moment. It was a nice moment we had with Wrecker and Omega there. Fennec was talking to that one guy from that one thing. That's elusive yet informative at the same time.
Yeah. It's gonna be great to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the connection there.
Yeah.
What would you rate this episode out of 10, Jordan?
7.
7. Oh, that's quite low. Is it? Maybe not. Why 7?
It's in the top percent. Full disclosure, because here at Star Wars Culture we believe in transparency. I watched
I love
the
where this is
episode
going.
and I think I fell asleep for the last 5 minutes because I woke
I
up
love it.
and the credits were rolling and I forgot what happened. And then I tried to go
that's
back to like where I
hilarious.
thought I left off and was so confused. I don't remember what happened. So
That's
until
incredible.
further
I
notice,
okay.
until further
7?
notice,
Okay,
the
then
episode gets a 7.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah. Because I was going to give it like a 9.5, honestly. I was like, it's like up there for like, in terms of like Clone Wars and Bad Batch kind of style episodes.
Yeah.
On point. Really, really good. If you have any final comments about the episode that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. But we will start to wrap up the show.
Yes.
I can't wait for more Bad Batch this week. I'm so excited.
Same. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. And thanks again to Alex Cherry, cosplaying queen.
She was amazing.
For joining us on this episode. Be sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Do it.
Yes.
Please. I don't want to say I'm begging you, but
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You can also make sure to follow our social media on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of that, and Instagram at Culture Slate. We will be back next week on Wednesday, same start time of 4 p.m. PST and 7 p.m. EST. Hannah, where can they find us in Australia? Or what time?
That is 10 a.m. on a Thursday morning. I love how we're on different days. It makes no sense, but it's incredible. So that's 10 a.m. Thursdays if you're in Australia. And reminder, check out our Patreon. You can find that amazing interview with Emily Swallow there and all our bloopers and behind the scenes shenanigans we get up to making the show. That's at patreon.com/Culture Slate. You can check that out at any time. Thank you so much if you have been in the comments. Loved your thoughts and interactions. We will see you all next week. For this week, may the Force be with you.